the Yonhap News Agency reports that the DPRK leader Kim Jong Un has left Pyongyang by train on his way to Vietnam. He is expected to arrive in Vietnam on Monday ahead of his second summit with U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday and Thursday. The first face-to-face meeting took place in Singapore, and our correspondent Mira Liu has been finding out how the island state has benefited from that event.
As Donald Trump and Kim Jong Un shook hands during their first summit, Singapore entered the history books for successfully hosting the high-profile meet. The world's eyes were on the city-state as the summit was beamed live across the globe. Singapore was on the headlines of major news outlets for days before and after the meeting. This boosted the republic's image as a safe, secure, and efficient location. It projected the country as a reliable and ideal place for major global events, big business meetings, and ultimately an investment destination.
I think the branding image that Singapore enjoyed as a result of this event was that the whole world now understands that the Singapore industry for hotels, businesses, tourism attractions, so on and so forth are attractive and of world-class quality.
The meeting attention helped increase awareness about Singapore, or the little red dot as they call it here. Where is Singapore became one of the widely searched items on Google during the first Trump-Kim summit. Singapore Tourism Board last week said that the historic meeting was one of the key factors that helped boost visitor arrival by 6.2% last year. Meltwater is a media and business intelligence firm. Their research on the mainstream media and social media coverage around the summit shows that brand Singapore was able to gain $700 million in exposure. Another interesting find was that the sentiment around Singapore was predominantly negative before the meet. The tiny nation managed to surprise the world, changing the sentiment to positive.
Singapore treated the media very well, and there was a good amount of coverage written after the event by journalists that talks about how efficient Singapore was in hosting the event, and also how well run the whole event was at a global scale. This is a small nation running a very large event.
Though Singapore prefers to downplay its role, it cannot be denied that the summit reinforced Singapore's soft power and strengthened its position as an honest broker and peacemaker. Nicholas Fan of the Singapore Institute of International Affairs believes that Singapore can now play counsel to Vietnam as it gets ready to host the second Trump-Kim summit on February 27th and 28th.
We are all, of course, partners in ASEAN, and within the grouping there's a lot of exchange of knowledge and of ideas. So hopefully Singapore will be able to play a little bit of a supporting role in terms of sharing maybe some of the best practices and lessons learned.
One of the key takeaways from the Singapore summit was the extensive and strategic role that social media played in spreading the word about the city-state and its people. It will be interesting to see whether Vietnam, with its young and tech-savvy population, is able to leverage social media and garner the attention that came Singapore's way. Mira Liu, CGTN, Singapore.